Hello and welcome to Big Scott 35 Saturday morning edition. This will be on 10/16/22. I think we want to really start saying the dates at the beginning of my videos, my personal ones at least. So when I go back to watch it, I got to know where I'm coming from at those moments. And, last weekend got to show off that great picture back there, redoing, getting my apartment to where I was at my house before I moved here to North Carolina. I can't wait to show you that. And just, I went all out and I can't, I love it. I come in, I smile. As you can see, very happy. So this week, in the hobby and in my hobby world here, we had JT Triple Crown 24. Awesome guy, awesome man. Somebody I could have regularly. I have a certain group that I have on. He's definitely one, and very knowledgeable. Me and him talked a little bit afterwards because I know what's going on in this community right now, the hobby. It's going to be a grind for these guys that sell quite a bit. And, that's, we all knew it was coming, and I think he's prepared. And you can watch his journey on his channel. It's very good. He's had that psychology, and when he goes and sets up his shows or goes to shows, his thoughts on the show is he comes at it at a very different angle. It's pretty good. So I got so after work. Wasn't too busy of a night, but still work. Let's see. Wednesday showed off some CSG. Really love what I'm doing there. I'm grading what I like, and I'm going to touch on it here in a minute. But like I said, I got some stuff at PSA, mostly for the sole purpose of selling. I probably got 8 to 12 cards. Probably 10 of them are for selling, and a couple of Pete Alonso's. Just kind of the way the prices are on these cards, even with the downturn on the market, you got to understand these cards I opened in packs or boxes at regular at SRP. So and if they don't sell, I still have them. They're Judges and Otanis, and so, even if I don't get them to the beginning of next baseball season, the big stars are seen at the beginning of the year. The big rookies, everybody's looking after, and the stars seem to do pretty good from a collector's viewpoint. Also, let's see, and I guess while we're here, and I'm going to have a little discussion on why I collect. I'm going to do also the part 3 of showing off some Gary Carter's, and just kind of, as I'm talking, I've mentioned it before. I grew up playing baseball, and I started out in my backyard before I could walk, swinging. Playing catch with my dad. I'm sure it's very a lopsided game of catch with my dad, but he had me started very early, and I knew very early that wanted to be what I wanted my concentration to be. So, I love baseball. Played it, ate it, slept it. My dad coached me. My mom was the bench mom, all of that. And, and I was pretty good. One of the biggest kids. I was gonna pull out some pictures so you can see how big I was. You'll see a picture of me later as a little kid. But you know, that was my escape. My parents fought a lot. Um, they tried to keep me out of it, which good parents do, and they were good parents. They, you know, I was their everything. So I'm not going to say they were not, but they didn't have a very good marriage, and it was pretty bad. And so playing when I went to the baseball field, all that went away. When I stepped out on that fence, uh, that was my sanctuary. So as I got a little older, what would be the extension of that? Start making a little money, doing odd jobs around the neighborhood, or started doing stuff for the recreation department, keeping scorebooks, chains at football games, clock at basketball games, whatever I could to make some extra money to buy, baseball cards, basically. Baseball cards and music. That was my two things. Uh, and every once in a while, when I was real young, Star Wars or G.I. Joe figure. And then when I got to be older, it was video games, music, and baseball cards. But, that was it, my extension. So when things happen, even when I got older, sometimes, I was an overweight kid in high school. So I had a lot of those angsts and a lot of those things that normal teenage kids go through, where nobody likes you, or whatever dumb reason it is. That day I had my baseball cards, and I've been serious. I would pull them out and just reorganize them, go out and buy some packs so I have something to do with them, anything, just to get my mind off of it. And so they were always there for me. And thank goodness they were. I probably lost my first classmate, fifth or sixth grade. He drowned. I'm not going to say his name. I don't know who watches, and it doesn't really matter what his name is. But, it just seemed like started losing people. And it wasn't like we were in a bad neighborhood or anything. We had one kid I played baseball with basically have a heart attack in the snow. Another, I'm not going to start saying it because I do have friends that watch this. Different things all the way through college and everything. But it stopped. And but by 10, 11 years ago, I lost my best friend in this world. Talked about it. His godson is his son is my godson. He's my world. He's 22 now, starting his life in the real world. But I moved to Iowa at the same time, and that's when I got heavy back into cards in my adult. Jumped head first, found YouTube, and that changed my world. And because of YouTube, it's really, really to another level of escape. Just, I love it. I went from just having baseball cards to doing displays, and man, I wanted to set up I wanted to buy a house that I could set up almost like a people said I looked like I lived in a card shop. Awesome. That in a museum was my two biggest things that I love to hear. Hopefully I did a very good job here. But I mentioned the other day, I mentioned it poorly. And I guess I should be telling you what the difference is on all of these, but like that one's numbered to one thing. This one's another numbering. If you have any questions on these cards, just put them down below. Be happy to snap pictures on my Instagram or whatever. But I said something happened to me, and I misspoke. It really didn't happen to me. It happened to the family that we choose, not the family we're born into. Um, I lost on Monday a person in my life that was like my big brother. Um, when my parents were fighting, I would get out in his family's house, three, doors down from me, and you know, third grade, second grade, and you know, his little brother and his little brother ended up being one of my group growing up. But this guy was like his big brother, but my big brother by choosing. Uh, and his parents were awesome to me. Made sure that I got to go to sporting events, and he was the athlete. You know, three sport varsity letterman, like the first one our school saw in like 20 some years. Now they're kind of, we don't have as many students there, so it's kind of commonplace. But he was 4.0 student, we're really close. But, growing up, that was my mentor, my idol, the man I looked up to. We had two guys same age in our neighborhood pretty much my whole youth. And, both of them, meant a lot to me. And I hope we're going to get together this week. I'm going home middle of this week. And it's a lot of things going on this time. I have my birthday on Wednesday. I will be 51. So it's time for, your birthdays. To me now, I'm at the age where every year I'm reflecting more and more. Am I being the person I want to be? Not only in life, but also in the hobby. Is this what I want to be doing? Have I got so crazy with this? And I don't think I have. I'm single. I can do whatever the heck I want. I'm pretty much at this is who I am, and if you don't accept me for who I am, it's part of who I am. I'm not all of who I am. Of course, I can always make exceptions and changes. I really like this card. This was beautiful. Just want to say that, and it is numbered in 1986. So very nice card. But I am selling stuff like my pop culture stuff, my actual pops, and some video game paraphernalia, not the games, not the systems, but some items. It's just stuff that I don't have room for. They don't give me the fuzzies. So I'm just getting them out. Want to make room because I have a spare bedroom that I want to make into a spare bedroom that's where I keep most of my baseball cards. And I do have some video games set up, but I also want to put like a nicer, like couch bed or whatever they're called in there. And so when family comes, I'm only 2.5 hours. I just want somewhere for them to stay, or for me to stay, and they stay in my nice bed. But because my couch is nice, but it's not a very good sleeping couch. It's awesome to sit on, and I got two recliners. Recliners, man, you can't fall asleep in them. But anyway, I know I'm rambling a lot, but I just wanted to talk about it. And this is the picture I go back to when I think of him. He's in the middle. This other gentleman is my godson's father that passed away about 10 years ago. And this is me right here. So I think I'm about 10, maybe 9 in that picture. And the gentleman in the middle is like 12. They're both other guys are like 11 or 12, maybe even 13. So that was a long, long time ago. But when I think of them guys, especially the guy in the middle, that's who I think of. All of us playing ball. I got the picture you see of me and Reggie Jackson. As soon as I got that, he's a huge Yankee fan. He was the first person I texted with the picture. You know, he collected cards. Me and him used to sit on the floor, and he loved Reggie and Donnie Baseball, and uh, you know. So when something like this happens, and it just came out of nowhere when this happened, when I found out Monday, it just makes you start reflecting on things, wondering, you know, I went right back to being that little kid. Um, of course, as you get older, everybody grows apart a little bit. But I'm going to finish showing this little stack right here because I told you this is going to be upbeat. Today was his remembrance of life, or whatever they call it. Was a ways away from me, but I'm going home this weekend for my birthday, and we're supposed to be these are all different backs, like Polar Bear, all of that stuff. Really, those Topps 206 from like 2005 or something like that. Um, that's the Gary Carter regular size. Uh, but well, we're going to do something as a friend group then, and you know, what do you say? I when I heard about it, and then I didn't stop listening to stuff. Monday was a tough day, and I'm going to ramble for a few more minutes. Please I don't want pity. This is not, hey, hit me up for, this is, hey, this is who I am. I didn't feel Wednesday. I felt like I was a little out of character. Some things I might have said. Really nice. Love that picture. I think that's from the same year of the Ichiro Pujols. This one here, man, they got this one. This is like one of their favorite pictures of Gary Carter. It pops up all the time on different things, and I get confused. And this one I have several times now. It's out of actually American Pie, Topps American Pie. This was their attempt at like a pop culture card, but he was in that. That's all I had today for the Gary Carters. Sorry, I haven't really talked a lot about him, but I just makes me feel like that's my blankie. It makes me feel better about things. But back to everything, this whole thing with everybody still talking about pumping and dumping, talking about. I'm sorry. I watched the bench clear thing earlier this week, and I sent a thing to Ty. He answered it. He doesn't know me from Adam. Me and Mike know each other. I don't know Ty personally, and he probably doesn't know when he sees my name at the bottom, doesn't know who I am or whatever, which is fine. But, when you say last week that money isn't everything in the hobby, and then this week start saying that, it's not good that they're lowering prices for everyone to be able to be in the pool to get cards graded. And even still, they're probably not low enough to get certain cards still graded because you feel like that's going to make too many cards graded. It just doesn't make sense. I didn't understand that. In the statement of this hobby's only healthier when things were expensive was basically, I know that's what I got from it. And I'm sorry, this hobby things can be expensive, but for the most part, it needs to be affordable for everyone to be included, not to exclude groups and people, because first off, they don't want to grind. It's a hobby. It's come home from work, get bad news, and jump in your ball cards. This week was a perfect example for me to listen to that. That's why I'm going to be upbeat. So I don't care if somebody's pumping and dumping. We know that's happening. Avoid it. I don't know what to tell you. I kind of said that last week. If we know that the people out there are saying, I guess somebody's done said now that it's the collector's fault. I have no idea. If somebody's blaming anybody for prices that are coming down, it's the economy. It's nobody's fault. Go out there and point the fingers at the Fortune 500 in the top 1%. If you want to go point fingers, but please, I should have put this in my pet peeve, because this is probably those other ones. If my God, any pet peeve really are a joke. We can get it doesn't matter what's going on. It's a hobby. Things might make you mad for a minute or whatever. But heaven's sake, just I lost my train of thought of what my pet peeve was. That's how it just doesn't matter what it is. It just doesn't matter. Tomorrow, if my Clemente rookie is $12 tomorrow, is that going to make me stop collecting cards? No, it's not. I don't collect for that reason. That Clemente, you know what that does? Like I told you about everything else, it reminds me of the stories my dad told me of Roberto Clemente. Was that an expensive purchase to remember that? Because I could have got any card to remember me that. Yes, but I'm a collector, so that made me start collecting Roberto Clementes, remembering those stories. And my dad has been on here. He loves to tell stories. He's very good at it. And he'll be on here, I'm hoping, this Sunday with me. So that's what's coming up this Sunday. It's hopefully me and my dad and Nats man. If everything works out right. I'm I take that back for this Sunday. This Sunday's JD, because I'm not going to Chantilly this weekend. See, I'm all out of my head. JD with Card Hedger. We had Retro Hoops. So we're going to have JD. Also, we're going to be talking hockey, because hockey started. That's why I got my Caps hat on tonight. We're going to talk collections. It's not going to be all just talking about Card Hedger, but we will touch on that. We will touch on Card Hedger, because it's right now, that's those tools. As much as I don't know how much people really need them all the time, but they are needed. And this one is how they're putting it together is for the collector, the buyer, the flipper, whoever. But with this card market now coming down, you definitely don't want to get caught overbuying. You kind of want to look to say, oh, the last card was sold at 40. Maybe I want to buy it at 35. You kind of want to know what's going on. So that's my 2 cents on that. What else this week? Wednesday, I will show some cards. I don't know exactly how or to frame it. It's just going to probably be pickups, new additions to the collection. I haven't been to my P.O. box all this week. I'll be honest. I haven't felt like going much of anywhere this week. So I need that's going to be all my things to do tomorrow. So I probably got to take a backpack with me. Sometimes they'll give me the little thing to take out. I'll bring it back. They've already got to know me here in North Carolina at my P.O. box, so with mailing out stuff and everything. So it makes me laugh, because in Iowa, my post office was great. But this one, I got some people here that get me laughing. So far so good. I'm just happy to laugh. But that's what this hobby's supposed to do. This is what I like to do. I am so sorry I rambled. If you've been through this nonsense that I've been saying and got anything out of it, I appreciate you hanging in there with me. I say it all the time. I love my community. I love everybody that watches my videos. I love everybody that comments. I finally commented on my last few. I know I've been behind on that, and that's no excuse. Y'all mean the world to me. And I will be at Chantilly. I already got some plans, hopefully, with a couple of different YouTubers and people in the hobby for then. And so that will be fun. Should be having my dad on that night. Can't wait for Chantilly. I think that's going to be, I think, I heard, shows last week, people weren't there, shows before. Chantilly, if people ain't there, a low turnout, that'll tell us a lot. And I tell you what, if certain influencers don't make that trip there, that'll tell a ton of what's going on in this hobby right now. Because Chantilly, and we've had a Dallas show, but Chantilly, they usually go to that one as well. So let's see what happens there. So until Wednesday, please take care of each other. My heart, my love, I love each and every one of you people as human beings, my brothers and sisters. I don't care. Well, I care about everything, but I don't care your past, where you're from, or anything. You take your time to spend time with me, and I'll make sure I take the time to spend time with y'all. So like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and we'll see you.